did he do? I know he interviewed the Pope, and that was last year or 2 years ago.
Who interviewed the Pope?
MatPat interviewed the Pope.
What? Like the Pope of like the church thing?
Yeah,
like...
the head of the church. Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh, what? Wow, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Plus, in the chat, we just learned from Drunken Mumble that he talked to Fauci, that guy from States, who's the lead, or was the lead.
Yeah.
What's his title?
Yeah.
The doctor guy who's always about immunology and outbreaks. But yeah,
head of, I don't know. Americans have probably got something. I don't know.
America's fine. Yeah. So
America's doing great.
They're entertaining. That's their export is entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment. Yes, entertainment.
$27 trillion in debt. Wow, you guys are awesome. You're so funny. How do you do that? I don't know.
I just a knee slapping good time.
You're gonna bankrupt the world. It's awesome.
Yep.
Anyway,
we'll just sat here drinking while it goes down in flames.
All right, let's get going. Smudcast number 186. Good afternoon, folks. This is a food theory video, the first one we've ever done. I had no idea this was a thing, that MatPat had like 2 or 3 or whatever, how many YouTube channels based off this or that theory. So he can ramble incoherently about a stupid, retarded idea and make about 1,000 edits in about 3 seconds about his eyes bulging and jumping up and down. But hey, it's McDonald's. What a wonderful topic.
Does everyone remember McDonald's? You used to go into there.
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah, I know. Oh my God. So McDonald's theories, you would think like how they make their food, how they make their ice creams, all this other simple food-oriented stuff. Nope.
Message coming in.
It's about
Patching it through.
the business and how even though everyone knows McDonald's is a business that sells food, it does other things. You're like, oh, really? There's the Ronald McDonald House that is a charity foundation.
They do a lot of Olympic stuff, don't they?
They do. When you're a $1 billion company, you have to get tax write-offs. So you have to do lots of other things to help out the community. It's not just...
Oh, yeah, I say help out the community, aka hide money from the tax man.
Yeah, that's what you do, and I'd rather major companies do that than give to the government, because why bother?
Yes.
If you can give up 10% of your profits to wherever you are, your community, that's a great thing, as opposed to giving it to the government. So yeah,
because the government will just end up in politicians' back pocket.
We don't know where it goes exactly when it hits the public treasury. We don't know.
I'm still wondering where the last project that I was on in my local council cost £2 million and got cancelled after 2 months. We never found out where that £2 million went. That was just gone.
There are horrible audits in Canada of people have been looking at what has happened to this agency that was created to do whatever, to monitor energy, the energy sector in Canada, whatever the stupid government programs that they create, and they just lost hundreds of billions of dollars after an audit was done, and we sit there like, are you for real? This is a thing. So
they just go like, whoopsie, sorry about that. I guess we'll learn our lesson and move forward from this.
So I can imagine how horrific it is in the States when they have $27 trillion of American dollars, of real dollars, gone to who knows what. I know it's leveraged by, like, I think the China and Japan are heavily leveraged, the GDP of America. You know, this is how investing works. You put money into companies in certain states or certain countries. So it's all interconnected. So when something falls, like America or China or Europe, the rest of the world feels it. And I guess the stock market, if you could argue, not directly as a result of those 12 or so or 18 or so stocks that went down the past 3 days.
Yeah.
Because they're part of other index funds and ETF portfolios, those companies feel it as well, just not as strongly.
Yeah, and also, to be honest with you, the whole financial world is on a tightrope right now with COVID as well. There's a lot of things that can swing it either way.
Yeah, we're going to have another repeat of March the 23rd from last year. Not necessarily this March of this year, but we don't know when exactly, because there's something like 40% of businesses still are not open, and that's the entertainment industry, the services industry.
Well, is that in Canada? Because it's higher in the UK.
Yeah, no, the numbers are it's hard to tell, but that's like currently, but we checked in Ontario, so there's all kinds of inflated values of companies. Whether you're talking about business real estate or housing or whatever, we know there are people living. We just don't know how they're paying their rent, and we don't know how businesses are making their money. So
yeah, it's very weird. There does seem to be a lot of money trees popping up to pay for everything.
So,
and you're like, where is all this coming from?
Right. So anyway, let's get going here. This is going to be a 16-minute video about how McDonald's is not a restaurant. And if you didn't know that, that's fine.
16 minutes?
Yeah, he likes to talk, so.
Fucking hell. I mean, I like the sound of my own voice, but come on.
Yeah, anyway.
Hi, I'd like to start a McDonald's franchise.
McTastic! So this says you agree to pay a franchise fee up front, a McFranchise fee if you will.
Nice.
And you'll have to pay us a percentage of all your McSales.
Okay.
Also, we get to pick the location of your restaurant. We own the McBuilding, and you can only McRent from us.
This is a bit more intense than I was expecting. I owe my McSoul to the company?
Should we do this another time? You seem McFlurious.
Oh, wow.
That was a lot of bad jokes you sent, but hey ho.
Look at his intro.
Wow.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the channel that's just a front for a thriving cat herding business.
Okay, so I was hoping for actual food theories, like how does this pair up with that thing, or how does this food made? This could have been business theory, franchise theory. Pick a title for a YouTube channel. But okay, food. Why not? It's
capitalist theory.
Yeah, no, it's like when you think of Weird Al Yankovic, his first few albums were all just about food. So it's like, can you make jokes about what everyone can relate to? It's like, yeah, do the funny thing, Weird Al. Oh, everyone thinks my songs are about food. It's like, well, yeah, they kind of were in the start. So, thanks, Matt. Yes. Like the lowest hanging fruit, literal fruit as food. He is using jokes. So, great stuff. Joe Crazy, thank you. MatPat gave the Pope a copy of Undertale. What? Really?
And was the Pope like, oh, this is great? And then he was like, oh, it's Undertale, not Underage. Didn't.
Oh, yeah, MatPat has some problems. Let's just say that.
But really, yeah, the Pope must be, the Catholic Church must be going through a really bad time if their head of it can do an interview with a YouTuber.
Well, either that or the current Pope is actually a really great guy. I don't know. It's hard to gauge Pope John Paul to, what was his name after? I can't remember the German dude, or was he Austrian or German?
Benedict.
Benedict, there you go.
Benedict or something.
He was kind of different.
Yeah, he's Polish.
Polish, okay.
Yeah.
And then we got Francis. So Francis is like really salt of the earth kind of Pope kind of guy. Mm-hmm. So a little different.
He knows all his YouTube memes.
Oh yeah, he knows all the video games.
He's like the frog. I know that one.
Oh god.
My brothers.
Yeah, don't give the Pope video games, guys. He doesn't need video games, all right? Just don't do that. Don't gift him on Steam. That's stupid.
He's probably already beaten them, since Jesus is helping him out. So
there you go. Oh, God.
It's not that I'm a foodie, a fast foodie, in fact, and McDonald's was my home cooking growing up. My diet was a daily rotation of McBurgers, McFries, and McSodas.
Whoa.
Then your parents were terrible then.
Daily? Who are your parents, dude? Like, what?
Yeah.
Jeez. This is like something like the child of Movie Bob when he was young. Like, oh my
Movie
God.
Bob, yes.
I grew up on McDonald's.
I grew up eating fast food. Oh my God. This explains so much.
I think going out to eat was a treat in my family. It wasn't like every day. Unless it was significantly cheaper in the States to do that, I don't know. Because the States, okay, compared to the rest of the world, the portions in the States are enormous. So maybe they were getting bigger bang for their buck? I don't know. It could be.
With fast food or even restaurants, it was a like special occasion. We went out for that because we had home dinners and pretty much nearly every day. I mean, my mum wasn't a great cook, but at least she put some effort into it. You could pick out the burnt parts. It was fine.
Yeah. So, okay, fries and Coke and double, I guess that's a quarter pounder, whatever you call those. That's, I think that's more than...
It's an artery stopper.
Yeah, that's a lot of calories there. So anyway. And plus, the caloric differences between today and 30 years ago are a lot different. So, especially the fries, they were using beef taro to cook the fries, and then they switched to vegetable oil, I think.
Yes, I think they did, yeah.
So the taste of the fries drastically changed.
Oh, yeah. Fries over in the UK just taste like cardboard from McDonald's.
All right.
It's utterly disgusting.
Yeah, but that's because you come from the home of fish and chips, so it's like, all right, that's,
No, it's one thing you'll find very few people in the UK who can stomach that, and it's like it changed just recently because the fries used to be the best part of a McDonald's in the UK.
Oh.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to screw up fried or deep fried potatoes.
Potato.
So, yeah. Oh, Haron Harushin. Oh, that's a Big Mac. Thank you. I don't know all the shape of the food. It's been so long.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was like a double quarter pounder with cheese, but I have no idea. But thank you anyway.
To be honest with you, it's been so long since I've been to McDonald's. I try and eat healthier food. I don't eat every single day, and also the UK's been in a lockdown for ages, so we haven't been so lucky. I know McDonald's delivers, but not in my area. So
here's Joe Crazy. Thank you. It's pretty cheap. Could get a 10-piece McNugget for $5.
Patching it through.
And a large drink for $1. Okay, I mean, if that is the logic behind the parents, I guess if they're saving money, great.
Message coming in.
But
Patching it through.
not every day, guys. Not every day. That can't be good.
Why are they giving them male deer food? I don't understand.
Maybe pick up a head of lettuce and some carrots and
something. Yeah. No, to be honest with you, you can do it for cheapness. Yeah, I understand. I live on a budget, but every single day, no, that's not good. It's not good for you. We're not. Don't even try and pretend it is.
Might not be the healthiest option. I tried to get into their salads for a while. To be honest, they sucked. Sure, over the years I've watched as McDonald's evolved, classing up their dining spaces, expanding into specialty coffees, introducing video games into their play spaces. Seriously, when McDonald's first put Nintendo 64 consoles in the play area, it blew my mind. And yet, for all of that change, McDonald's has been a constant. I know what I'm gonna get. I know what it's gonna taste like. I know that
that is a really big hamburger. You got 4 patties.
Yeah, this is wow.
That is wow. I mean, it looks okay, but I have no idea what it tastes like, so I can't comment on it.
Oh, you know damn well that it looks alright in this picture, but you get one, and it's going to look nothing like that. I think, what was it? I think it was the last McDonald's I had. They put the patty on top of the actual top bit of bread. And it was like, what? God, how could you not get this right? It's like it goes bread, meat, and then bread again. How do you make it go bread, meat?
Anyway, yeah, whatever you guys enjoy, I'm not going to judge you for fast food. You got to eat. I get it. So it's just been a while for me since I've seen stuff like this. So anyway.
Gonna be broken. I know McDonald's, and so do you. About 5 years ago, when I was searching for my first house, our realtor told me something that completely blew my mind. No joke, it was one of those moments that you have in life when your perspective completely changes about the world around you. Like when you find out that the Illuminati is actually real.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yes. What? How many people died under communism again? Oh my God, that can't be right.
That's life changing. So, saying something about McDonald's isn't.
Message coming in.
Also, if you're looking for a house, when does McDonald's ever get brought up? I've done a bit of house searching before, and that's
a weird conversation to start with. How did that go? It's like, hey, we want to buy some real estate. It's like, what? Have you gone to McDonald's lately? It's like, what? No.
Do you know the business practices of McDonald's? Wait, what? No, I really like the boilers, to be honest with you.
Couldn't tell you. Not familiar. Yeah, well, whatever conversation. I'm sure they got into real estate because they're talking about buying a house, so that's fine. Tyler Preston, thank you. So I saw Curio and he, she, they's followers didn't respond to your criticism of his video. They're calling us chuds. How very petty. Yeah, that's nothing new. We've gotten called chuds before. So
why do people think this matters? Oh no, people have called us bad names on Twitter. How? Oh no. Anyway.
Well, you know how I always say everyone on YouTube's a clown? And I'm a clown, you're a clown. Like, we're all versions of a clown. We're trying to entertain you and dance and sing and whatever.
Yeah.
Curio looks like a clown. Okay, he's got the balding head. He's got the makeup. You know, he's a funny guy or girl, whatever. I'll give him that. He does a better job than me, obviously.
Yeah.
So
there were actually some good jokes.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. Girl, sorry.
That video?
Great guy, girl, whatever.
No.
So it's fine.
Them.
Yeah. See, I don't get hung up on this. I just get confused. I'm like, what is going? Because my eyes are telling me one thing, and my brain's like, wait, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. But my eyes are like, no, it's a guy. It's a guy. It's a guy. It's a guy. So.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's not. But it's a guy who wants to. I always look like a girl who wants to be neutral to the. Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't care. So, like, personally, it doesn't bother me. But my eyes are and my ears and they don't lie to me. So I'm like, you can call whatever. It's like that is a walrus. It's like, no, it's not. That's a brick wall, you moron. It's like, fine. To be nice, I'll call it a walrus. But the rest of me knows.
Yeah, I just want to make this clear. Whenever someone says something nasty to me on the internet or anything, I just want to remind people that I'm at home in my slippers with a drink next to me in a nice warm living room. It doesn't bother.
We don't really care. We only really care when they say something that makes sense. When they don't make sense, we laugh and we cajole and have a good time. So
they could call me the worst name in the history of the world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't bother me. So they can call me all the names. There's actually a guy in that Twitter feed that was like making fun of my name, and I'm like, okay, I guess you're the Lord Namer of all things that are cool, or whatever the hell it was. I said.
Oh yes, yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, it was like
And he kept responding, and I'm like, dude, whatever. I mean, I don't care.
He's called Smudboy. Yeah, and I'm called Sarcastic Hawk. It's just names we've given ourselves, just for our avatars.
Yeah, there's no real story, although there's a semi-story. But other than that, it doesn't make any difference. Call yourself whatever. Okay, so back to this.
I did mine because Yeah.
Back to
Back
this
to this food
weird
theory.
food real estate thing. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but okay.
Faceless
What?
people.
No. Forget that I said that. Anyway, our realtor told me that McDonald's isn't a food company. It's a real estate company. You heard that right. The most famous and highest grossing fast food chain in the world actually generates more from real estate efforts than they do from, actually selling food.
Okay, so that might be true, but to the rest of the world, it's a restaurant, okay? To the stock market, it's a restaurant. I don't care.
Yeah.
I honestly don't care how, let me just pull up MarketBeat. It's a website that tells you what sector you're investing in.
Mm-hmm.
So here's MarketBeat. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. Let me just make sure. Okay, so this is McDonald's stock. So if you want to buy stock at McDonald's, here's the industry. It's called eating places. The sub-industry is called restaurants, and the sector is called retail wholesale. So to me, that says this is a food services company. How McDonald's makes its money, I don't really give two flying craps. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't bother me. I don't care if they they own 99% of ExxonMobil or something. I don't care. If they are in this sector and I see their product, I see the point of sale system, and people are buying hamburgers. To me, they're buying hamburgers. It's a hamburger selling business. So
yeah, if you start looking at every big company, they're going to have their fingers in so many different pies. It's unbelievable.
One of the companies I used to work for was called Zoomer Media, and the guy who made it used to be a media mogul of Toronto. He was called what the hell was his name again? Moses Neimer. Okay, he founded City TV back in the 80s. He sold it to Bell Media, and then he started up his own company called Zoomer. And he owned 4 radio stations, 4 TV stations, and whatever. He made most of his money by owning the real estate that the company was on, where it currently existed in Liberty Village. Then he sold that to whoever wanted to buy it, and then he started renting from them. So he made $20 million bucks or whatever it was, and now he's renting off the property he previously bought for his own business. Yeah. So I don't care how people make their money. If you are a X company, you could be bankrolling it. I don't care who's bankrolling it. I don't care what your loan is. Doesn't bother me. So.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, no, I agree completely. Yeah.
Anyway.
Side business for their purchasing and owning of buildings and
Okay, it's not a side business, all right? The people who franchise the business pay rent to corporate, the corporate mother company. The profits go to them.
Also, they buy the building so they have a place to sell their food.
Right. Yeah, they own the lot of land. They rent it to the franchisee, and the franchisee pays the bills by people buying the food. So for all intents and purposes, to the client side reasoning, whether you're an investor or whether you're a purchaser of the food, it's a restaurant.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it just blows my mind that the fact that they bought buildings to sell food. It's like, oh, look at that, they're actually in retail estate and stuff. It's like, no, we're just using a building to sell the food, which is their main goal of selling food.
It's a smart idea. I mean, if you're going to set up shop, you're not only, because if you're talking about making a lot of money, everyone I've ever talked to about that says you got to buy some real estate. So you can do that. You could buy a condo and rent that out if you want to take a lot of risk. But the returns after 3 years will be considerable.
Huge.
Yeah. Right. So
once you get some land behind you, you can do a lot of things. You can make a lot of money really quickly.
Exactly. So McDonald's just happening to have a business model that they can put on top of that real estate makes a lot of sense. It's the next level of owning real estate, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm totally cool with this business model and the ownership model and whatever. It's it's fine.
Yeah.
Land. In the 5 years, factoid has appeared on lots of different listicles, but in all honesty, this was one of the reasons I wanted to make this channel in the first place, to tell you mind-blowing stuff like this. I mean, having multiple revenue streams is smart business, but this goes way beyond mere diversification. McDonald's
No, it's not that complicated, buddy. They own the land. People want to be a franchise owner. They have to rent it from the mother company. That's it.
Oh my God!
is arguably the most successful restaurant chain in history, and yet they're somehow even more successful in an entirely different industry. So that's what we're getting to the bottom to today, theorists. Is McDonald's primarily a real estate company, or is that just some clickbaity distortion of the numbers? And if McDonald's is a real estate company, why? How? So put on your business socks.
Okay, again, this is we just explained it. It's very simple. If you want to be a food franchise, it is better in the long run to leverage the people who want to work in the franchise by being tenants to your real estate. Okay? So you're using the power of rental fees, and you are saying not only are we going to be the biggest name in the fast food industry, you have to pay rental fees on the property that you're renting from us. And if we don't like you, we could always evict you and get a new one. And it's a fantastic model.
I'm also certain they get percentages of what the profits.
Oh God, yeah, for sure.
The franchise. So there's a lot of different revenues coming in. It's not just real estate. So
I would say it's the same. Honestly, I think it's the same business model because the money is still coming from the franchisee giving McDonald's money. And McDonald's doesn't care how that works. Obviously, they want to see a profit margin, so that they're turning up a profit, or else they won't be able to keep that. Like the franchisee will have to shut down, and then McDonald's will go, oh well, I guess I have to sell the land.
Yeah, but they make money from that.
Yeah, so very, very good, safe. I mean, it is a risk up front, but if it operates for more than a year, I don't know what the returns are, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
People, cause it's business time. Let's start at the beginning. McDonald's was founded in 1930s California by the McDonald brothers, Richard and Maurice. The earliest version of the restaurant, which served hot dogs and barbecue, didn't really resemble what we know as McDonald's today, except for one thing: getting food to its customers fast. The McDonald's brothers were way into efficiency and optimization, theory for another day, and their speedy service system caught the attention of milkshake mixer salesman Ray Kroc, who teamed up with the brothers and in 1955 began building McDonald's franchises outward from California at a feverish pace. However, Kroc's fortunes didn't really take off until he met an investor named Harry Sonneborn, who introduced Kroc to a new way to make money in the restaurant business: real estate. This clip is from the 2016 film The Founder, a film I highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Gets really into the heart of the matter.
You don't seem to realize what business you're in. You're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business. You don't build an empire off a 1.4% cut of a 15-cent hamburger. You build it by owning the land upon which that burger is cooked.
Spoiler alert, Sonneborn's idea proved to be wildly successful, and definitely a lot better than Dunder Mifflin Infinity. And with Sonneborn's help, Ray Kroc implemented changes that would alter the course of McDonald's history, making him an insanely wealthy man worth over $600 million when he passed away in 1984. So here's how the new system, today referred to as the Sonneborn model, worked. Let's pretend it's the late 50s and Joe Regular Guy wants to open up a McDonald's. To do it, he needs to purchase a franchise, basically permission to open a restaurant from Ray Kroc. Kroc is happy to sell a franchise to Joe. After all, it's his job to build out a network of McDonald's franchises across the USA. However, Kroc and Sonneborn have now added themselves a catch. In order to get a McDonald's franchise, Joe Regular Guy must agree to operate out of a building that Kroc chooses, on land that the company owns. Now, this new type of arrangement accomplishes a couple of things. First, it gives McDonald's increased control over its franchises, allowing them to strategically place the different franchises at appropriate distance away from each other.
Yeah, but if the land's not available, they can't buy it, so it's really about what's there.
And I was just about to say is,
and they could choose, bad, locations just because it's cheap or, it's no one else has bought it. So if it's not available, you can't do it. So you usually see it in dense areas where people are going to go. I've seen a few places even on my streets in Toronto where it was like a Dunkin' Donuts. That's a popular franchise in the States. Closed down.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, and then it got bought up by a Tim Hortons, which is another coffee shop, donut place. So it was the same kind of product from a different franchise, and the store was just pretty much retrofitted to be that style, but exactly the same offering, similar kinds of food and drink. So
because in my hometown, the KFC got closed down and replaced by a Burger King, and then that got closed down. McDonald's wanted to buy it and get it, but there was already a McDonald's right next door. And they're like, no.
Interesting.
We're not having two McDonald's next to each other.
Yeah, so it does make sense. You don't the difference is though, Starbucks is completely the opposite. I'll see a Starbucks in Toronto, and across the street, a block down is another Starbucks. Like they're just so cheap.
If you want to see Starbucks Central, go to in Nottingham in the UK. Just Starbucks everywhere.
Oh, it's nuts.
It's insane.
And they did close down. It was announced, I think, was it 2 months ago or 3 months ago? Starbucks closed like 300 across Canada or something. So, yeah, it was huge.
Didn't even make a dent.
I know. It's like, maybe it's a good idea. Yeah, it's pretty good. We don't need so much.
300 closed, and you don't even notice.
Yeah, because no one's going out anyway, right? So it's like, close it down. We'll bring them back up next 2 weeks or so. Who cares?
And to ensure locations are in the ideal parts of town. Secondly, it enables McDonald's to collect more money from its franchises than ever before. Not only does McDonald's get to collect a one-time $45,000 franchise fee and a percentage of sales from each of those franchises, but they also get rent checks from their franchises. Okay. That's right, McDonald's is also Joe Regular Guy's landlord. And when there's, statistically a new McDonald's opened every 14 and a half hours somewhere in the world, that's going to add up. McDonald's, along with many of the other fast food chains that you know and love, use the Sonneborn model of real estate ownership within their franchises to this very day. And hey, when the restaurant doesn't work out, they can always just sell the land. But wait, there's more. The real estate benefits to McDonald's don't end there. In addition to collecting rent, there's also tax benefits to be had. There's a lot of upside if you own a commercial building and know what you're doing, and boy howdy does McDonald's know what it's doing. First, the use of commercial land is a tax write-off, meaning that whatever it costs you in a year to buy and keep that land is going to come out of your income before you pay taxes. And this is important. Businesses that earn a lot of money want as much to come out of those earnings as possible, so there's as little left to tax at the end, because taxed money isn't coming back to you or your business. So they buy equipment, they give away bonuses, they invest that money, all of it to get it off the books before it gets taxed. So sure, you might not need that extra
Okay, so this has nothing to do with the business model, or this is just what businesses do in general. So
this is pretty much nearly every business does this. How is this McDonald's is real estate? You're literally saying every other business does it. Okay, so it's just
they want to be tax effective, tax deferred, or whatever savings you want to make, so that you don't get charged that year for the taxes or filling out taxes the next year.
Yeah.
So this is basic stuff. This is owning property, really. This has nothing to do with a business. This is what you do when you pay taxes.
Camera. But by spending money on it, you're basically getting a 20% discount on it. The 20% that would otherwise be handed over to the government through taxes.
But that's in America or a certain state, so he has to be referring to a particular rule. I'm sure that's different in every country. So
it's not the same over here either. So
like business expenses are still an expense, and you charge that to the corporate account. And that would be a different tax rate than whatever else you would have a normal sales tax for or something like that. So,
this video, Jesus Christ.
hey, it's MatPat talking about business instead of food. It's like, thanks, Matt. We really don't need to know this, but okay.
You could, when it got brought up, I thought, oh, was you going to talk about like what McDonald's does with food? And it's like, no, it's about real estate. Why is this food theory then? Well, McDonald's does food. Oh, is that the only reason it's food theory then?
This is pretty much accounting at this point, yeah.
Message coming in.
Oh, it's Sutter. Hey, Sutter.
Patching up.
We should collectively short McDonald's next. Well, you can, but it's not going to do much. I mean, it jumps up and down a lot because it's a $150 billion company, so not gonna scare it away.
No.
It's in so many portfolios. It's like, oh wow, I guess it went up. It went down today. Wow, it's not going to bother anyone now.
No, they have. Like I say, they have their fingers in so many pies. It's unbelievable.
It's like Coca-Cola. It's world renowned. It's extremely stable. You can short it, but it's not going to do much damage.
What was it? The company that makes Mars bars is in, like, once you actually see what it go, if you go further and further back about who owns what, there's only like 6 companies in the entire world that actually own pretty much nearly everything.
There's confectionery company. Yeah, I can't remember the names of them all, but
there's like one of them that's like not only owns like half the confectionery bloody like market, but owns half the bloody house cleaning products as well.
Oh yeah,
like, wait, what?
It's the same with what's that beer company? InBev is like the biggest beer in the world. Yeah. They own like all the major brands. This is pretty standard stuff how it works. So
yeah. So you can this is just basic economics and business stuff. So
as any accountant will tell you, you want your business to basically look like it's earning $0 at the end of the year by spending that money on things that help the business. But
no, you don't want that. You don't want to say zero profit.
No, because I'm like
shareholders. What's our EPS?
Yeah.
We hit expectations by -5. Like, what do you mean -5? I thought you made a profit. No. We expected 5%, but we actually hit 0. What?
We made no money whatsoever. Oh my god, the business is going under. So no. Oh god.
The general rule of paying taxes: the more taxes you have to pay means you've made a lot more money this year than before. Okay, so it's a good thing.
If you tell your shareholders we've made no profit, most likely what they'll do is they'll drive home with a loaded revolver and take out them, the wife, and the 2 kids because they think the life's over.
Here's Joe Crazy. Ronald, it's free real estate. Oh no! You know, I never investigated that meme. I don't know where it came from, but I know it's been around for a while.
I don't know. There's so many new ones, and I'm such a boomer nowadays. So,
anywho,
can function as tax write-offs. I'm not saying this is wrong or right by any means, by the way. I'm just saying that it's legal, and so smart business people looking to hold on to their money try to exploit this for all it's worth. And the Sonneborn model really works that system. They own the land, and land is a really weird category of business, because unlike other things you buy, like, say, your car or your phone, land isn't expected to expire or deteriorate. In accounting, this is called...
What is he talking about? You don't think land depreciates in value? Or goes up in value?
It also goes up in value, yeah.
Are you an idiot, MatPat?
If you bought 500 acres of prime farming land and it just got surrounded by the hood and the ghettos, right? That land's going to go down in value.
I don't think this guy has ever heard of a boom or a bust on like the real estate stock market. You know what happened in 2007? That whole fiasco? What do you think that was about, Matt? Real estate. There are
land
places
loose
in
value.
Toronto
Okay, yeah,
and Vancouver
sure. Fuck it.
and New York that have been exploding the past 12, 13 years. It goes up and down like crazy.
Down. Yeah.
This is
There's
why people move.
And land that is thought to be worthless, if they find something on the land, then it becomes more expensive. So there's a lot of things that can change it.
There have been at least 30,000 people a year from Toronto alone exiting the city to live in the GTA or corresponding cities because it's too expensive here. The same with Montreal, the same with Quebec City.
Same over here in London.
Yeah.
So
where is he? How does he even, like, how dumb do you have to be to make a topic? Let me just rewind this. Maybe I'm hearing this wrong. Okay, let's go back.
Category of business, because unlike other things you buy, like say your car or your phone, land isn't expected to expire or deteriorate. In accounting, this is called depreciation.
Okay, maybe he means the land itself as a physical thing doesn't like break down into atoms or something. Like it turns into sand and your foundation falls apart or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you've got say 100 acres. That's always going to be 100 acres no matter what. It's like, yeah, okay.
Like there's no like volcanic activity on your real estate that'll just turn it into ash. Okay, yeah.
But a sink, we don't expect a massive sinkhole to appear there and swallow the whole land.
Maybe that's what he means. Okay.
And if you've ever tried to sell an old car that you've driven down into the ground, by the end of its life, it's worth practically nothing. Well, it turns out that you can use depreciation to your advantage with taxes. And accountants can spread out the cost of large purchases over the lifespan of that item. For a concrete example, let's say I buy a new BurgerBot 2000, which is capable of pumping out hamburgers all by itself, and I expect it to churn out those burgers for the next 5 years before it starts to break down. If it cost me $100,000 to buy, I can choose to amortize the cost, which is to say I can incrementally take its depreciation into account on my taxes. When I do this, I would be telling the IRS that instead of deducting the full $100,000 purchase for my BurgerBot this year, I want to instead deduct $20,000 every year for the next 5 years. Same amount, but now it's just spread out. This might just seem like a silly difference, but when you're dealing with way bigger numbers and tricky tax brackets, that kind of distributed long-term cost can massively reduce how much you owe each year. Here's how. Let's say
that's fine. This is why are we talking about accounting?
Yeah, this is. So is McDonald's real estate then? Because now we're just going on to something completely different.
Now he's talking about how to properly have a capital loss on your taxes so that you don't have to pay the taxman as much. It's like, yes, you can amortize it if you want to. If it's, you have a maximum based off your loss, you could put that into next year. Yeah, I get it. People do that sometimes. It's sad.
Yeah.
But people have been known to do that. Businesses do it all the time for tax write-offs. I get it. Why are we talking about this?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, when I did accountancy at college, you get taught this straight away with how to do these things. So, yeah. I want to know how McDonald's is mainly real estate, not that McDonald's is siphoning money away in different places illegally. That's not real estate. That's just different business ventures.
I still don't know why why did he make this on his food? Maybe he has another channel for I don't know, business or some bullshit. It's like, business theory. McDonald's makes its money, but you don't know how. And he talks about it. That would be perfect for this video.
Yeah, this food theory is just like
nothing to do with food.
McDonald's makes food. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Jake, what does this have to do with not being a restaurant? Yeah, thank you, Jake. I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, if anyone goes, but it's a joke video, he's going into some very serious things and serious ways of doing stuff.
It's like
I'll just say this straight up.
It's like the Ford company is not a car company. It makes tires. And you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cars use tires. It's true.
They could make 18-foot pink unicorn pogo sticks. You know, it's fine, whatever. What does this mean by...
They brand themselves as a restaurant. That's all that matters to the public.
Yeah.
That's the business model that we see, that the consumer sees.
Yep. And on the stock market, it's under... is it under restaurant, is it, that you brought up?
Yeah, that was
actually
eating
look at stocks.
places, sub-industry restaurants, and the sector is retail wholesale. So, yeah, that's the service industry as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so that's what even they say to that, like their shareholders in the
It
stock
has
market.
155 billion market cap. It's gigantic. It's the biggest one there.
Mhm.
Bravo.
Bought an IRA $50,000 in a year. If I deduct the full $100,000 cost of buying the bot on my taxes in the first year, I'd be showing the government that I wound up with a net loss of $50,000. In that year, I would pay $0 in
Quick
tax
maths.
because I've shown the government I didn't earn any money. But then, for the next 4 years, I'm paying 21% on my full $50,000 earnings. That's $10,500 each year for a grand total of $42,000 paid in taxes across all 5 years. That is in scenario 1, deducting everything up front. But now, let's look at scenario 2, where I spread out the cost of BurgerBot, deducting $20,000 from my earnings every year. Instead of that minus $50K on year 1 and plus $50K
Message
every
coming
other
in.
year, now I'm telling the IRS
Patching it
that I
through.
earn $30,000 every year. The $50K that I do earn minus the $20,000 distributed costs of the BurgerBot. I'm still paying that same 21% each year in taxes for 5 years, but now it's off of $30K instead of $50K, which winds up being $6,300 a year or $31,500
Yay.
over the 5 years that BurgerBot is expected to function. That translates to an extra $10,500 that I get to keep over that 5-year period, just because of some funny tax work with depreciation schedules. Even if you didn't follow any of that example, the TLDR here is that spreading out costs can save you huge bucks in the long run.
I don't even think that math was correct. Okay, let me just think about that. He went from 50 grand declaring it to then saying 2020, 2020, 2020.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? How did
No,
you get...
because he spread the 20 grand is per year because he spread over the cost of the burger bot. So 100 grand divided by 5 is 20.
I don't think his maths are correct there. I think he did not subtract the other 50 grand in the first example. And he just used 100 grand in the second example across 5 years.
because you're talking about negative money as well. So you've got to take away that 50 profit that you have. You have to take away that 50,000 profit to pay up for the 50,000 loss in the first year.
Never mind. This is a MatPat video. I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna...
he's not carried over his with tax forms. You have to carry over your previous year's profits, and they get deducted from your current year's profits, and then you figure out all the bits and bobs. So if you're working at negative 50, that 50,000 gets you up to 0. So you've got 0 in that first year. So yeah, he's not done his maths right.
I'm not going to bother. Something just did not add up. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, fine.
Yeah.
Whatever MatPat wants to say, it's fine. We'll just keep going. Are Big Macs usually really just an illusion put in our minds by the government? No, Jake. No.
Yes.
No.
It's,
I'm going to say no.
there is no Big Mac. It's like the Matrix.
God.
You're just bending a Big Mac with your mind.
I would rather we have a very clever scheme for McDonald's to exist and flourish than for it to get a subsidy from wherever or whomever. I think
Message coming
I
in.
think it's perfectly fine the way it is.
Patching it through.
All right, Setter, how you
by
doing?
not being a retail company.
How is the burger bot even relevant? He had to tie it into food somehow, so that's what he's doing. So he's making it sound as if oh, if they can do write-offs on grills and ice cream machines, therefore we're talking about a food video, even though he's specifically talking about accounting, which is really not the most exciting topic to be discussing. But
I did 2 years of it in college. It is not exciting whatsoever.
yeah, this video came out in November last year. It has 2.7 million views. So, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Jake the Surgeon.
2.7 million people.
Yeah.
You know?
The Big Mac is a lie. I don't know. It's a very popular burger. Whatever the lie is, it's a beautifully well sold lie. So there you go, America. Your tasty.
God bless him.
God save America. My God, someone's got it. Oh.
I ain't.
I'm not bailing them out. There's no. Canada's like, yeah, we can't even come close. Our GDP is not even on the
Britain's
scale.
just like, well, Britain's just like, well, you kicked us out once. We ain't helping you out.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
The only recourse
No
is to bomb China for like $1 billion or $1 trillion, and that's all they can take is $1 trillion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I love that Yellen, that new what is it on the board? No, the new Biden. What's her name? Yellen. I can't remember what she's trying to do. But one of her ideas. Anyway, the Biden administration, the financial person on board, she wants to potentially tax some form of capital gains from the rich. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh, you are not going to be popular with anyone in the world if you say that."
Oof. Yeah, it's a bit like you do know who your boss's friends are, don't you?
It's just like, yeah,
It's
we'll
like-
just any profit you make, we're going to tax that. It's like, it's already taxed. You want to tax it more?
I see you're finally doing a food theory video.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I'd like to say we are, but it's mostly an accounting video. So
You're having tons of fun.
Oh yeah, this is giving me real good flashbacks of my teenage years, sat in a room going, "What the fuck is all this?"
So who knew the food theorist channel was an accounting channel? I had no clue. I was like, wow, thanks, Matt.
But also he's talking about accountancy, and he did his one bit of accountancy wrong.
Yeah, wow.
He did it completely wrong.
Goody, accounting.
Yeah. Oh.
It's what make anything involving accounting interesting.
No, it's not that fun. No, really.
It's really tough. Yeah.
The only fun part is when you know you've made money, and you gotta go, "Hey, government, I'm gonna give you a big fat check because I'm rich," or whatever. You know.
That part's fun.
Yeah.
I will say this: the only interesting thing about accountancy for me was in college. The tutor was actually quite attractive. She was very attractive.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only positive thing.
I've seen some fun and attractive accounting people. That's true. They are out there, but again, that's because I went to York, and Schulich is a world-renowned business college, so there were lots of well-dressed people. So yeah, smart people too. So smart and attractive. That's true. Yeah. Put anyone in a suit, doesn't matter, male or female, you're gonna look good. So it's like, yeah, all right.
Oh yeah.
Most people, yeah.
Most people. Here's
Most
Setter
people.
again.
I don't. I just look like a shaved monkey.
Setter with the third super chat.
Message
My
coming
God, stonks.
Patching it through.
The stonks.
Yeah, stocks have been very interesting lately. It's been it's the first time that anything revolving around the stock market has made me this giddy. It's been fantastic. I love it.
Just so you know,
I love it.
I'm doing a Smud talk right after this video, and we're going to be talking about the stonks. So
Oh, fantastic.
I don't know who wants to join that, but it's up to you guys. I might show off my portfolio if anyone wants to know.
If I can poke fun at all these hedge fund managers, that'd be awesome.
Okay, sure.
I like that.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, this is the most fun the common man's had with stock since the Wall Street crash.
Yeah, it's kind of like the regular masses, the regular person, the Joe Blow, average Joe guy, has finally found out they can actually cyberbully the hedge fund managers and the billionaires with their own stuff. Fantastic.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised it's taken this long. To be honest with you, wouldn't you know how Wall Street works? It's surprisingly easy to.
And also, you know, they're spinning it as like a white supremacist movement. That the stock stuff, it's white supremacy.
Yeah.
Well,
they're actually saying this.
The ones I saw were a lot of the left-leaning people saying, "Oh, this is all capitalism's fault," and it's like, wait a second. Let's imagine
this is free market.
Let's imagine for a second that the government was not capitalist and they were communist. Do you think the stock market would cease to be or something? You think that they would be like eliminate all your assets? Like, I don't think so. That would not happen.
I'm just enjoying all the socialists and revolutionaries defending
the free market. Yeah, it's been fantastic. I love it.
It's funny.
Down with capitalism. Oh no, capitalism might fail. We have to defend it. Wait, what?
I don't think they know the first thing about options trading or how that works.
I don't think they know the first thing about anything at all.
Yeah, I was just about to say. We're the opposite of whatever you want. Okay.
Anyway, let's finish off this video and get to the more interesting discussion later in our Smud Talk. But
MatPat's so wonderful.
He is a child level of annoying.
Yep.
Like McDonald's with a massive $21 billion in revenue in 2019 alone, those sorts of cost savings are gonna add up. But how do they do that? Why is any of this relevant?
Real estate. You just told us, buddy. We know the answer.
Yeah.
It's not. It was the first part of your video. It's like, yeah, real estate. Okay, you're right.
Land doesn't depreciate, and well, that's true.
Yes, it does.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Clearly, MatPat's never been to Detroit.
Yeah, even if the actual quality, like the actual physical land, does not like get hit by lava or as a sinkhole or whatever. If you're investing in land, that is a stock.
The value of land.
That is called a real estate investment. It goes up and down like crazy. Okay? And if you don't know this in the States, it is the law that a real estate company who owns the land has to pay out 90% of its profits to shareholders every whatever period, if it's monthly or quarterly or bi-yearly or yearly. That's a rule. And that's why people like real estate, because it's so solid, meaning you're going to get some return. If it starts going down, they go, oh, we don't need this. This is not what I wanted anymore. I'm not going to get my dividend or my capital gain. I'll sell now and buy into something more solid. So it goes up and down like crazy.
Patching it through.
Just not as volatile as the energy industry or other industries.
It's like, oh no, this land's going down. I'll buy into GameStop. That's making money.
Yeah, like there was a few real estate. I don't know if you guys knew what Biden did. He stopped the contract with a major prison or something like that the first week.
Yes. Yeah.
So there were at least 3 major REITs or real estate investment trusts that were hit. One of them was the Geo Group, and that had a drop in stock value by like, I don't know, 5 to 10%. So it was pretty big. Not as big as what we saw with GameStop and a few others, but you know, in the real estate market, or just in general, the real estate, anything dropping 5% is huge. So yes, real estate goes up and down.
You get what you vote for, I guess.
Yeah, you get what exactly. You don't want.
You get what you fucking deserve.
You get what you deserve, because I just read an article where the Wall Street actually just heaved money on Biden. And now they were just $70 billion in the hole.
I remember that. I remember in November and December.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the dementia-riddled fucking idiot would screw people over?
Who would have thought a man whose brain is literally soup is messing up everything up? Whom? Who would have known that?
Well,
who could have predicted this?
I find it funny, Hawk, that you said we've got a dementia-ridden guy who can't remember anything screwing people over. It's like, do you not remember the last 4 years?
Yeah, Trump doesn't have dementia. He doesn't have literal dementia.
Trump didn't
Really?
wander onto a stage and then wander off. Had to be turned around
He's like,
by
I'm done.
people.
Well, you know what? I'll give Trump this. At least he can tell the difference between his wife and his sister. I'm sure.
Oh.
I'll give him
At
that.
least,
But Biden's like,
At least-
we need to. The American people have a right to absolute.
at least Trump knew.
Hey,
which
I
way the
remember Trump going,
cameras
and
were.
the United States.
I mean, his dentures is falling.
Yeah.
Out. Give him a break.
Yeah, but at least when Trump talks to the camera, he knows where the camera is.
Oh dear.
Give him that.
I'm gonna find a GIF of him making fun of that reporter friend of his, where he's just going, yeah. I'm gonna find that GIF.
So if you guys don't remember what happened the past 3 months, October to December, the stock market went up like a hill in October and dropped. And then during the election, when it was announced that Biden was winning or has won, there was a huge rally. It happened again in December, and it sort of kept that until Biden hit office. And was it the 20th of January? I think?
Yeah.
January 20th.
And then after that,
Only been a week.
everything just started slowly falling. And then this week, this is when the big
It all falls down.
everything came crashing. It's still on the down.
He's signed. I think he signed 40 executive orders in the
Wow.
first week of power, which is like more than 15 presidents have done in the entire run.
It's I think at the moment in time, the rate he's going of executive orders is something not seen since the late 1800s.
Yeah, 40 executive orders in a week. What else is he doing besides just sitting there signing things?
Is that are those military orders? Like, what are they?
Oh, there's orders for everything. That's how you canceled the pipeline and everything.
Okay, I can understand some of that because, he can control so much, but it's really up to Congress to actually say, "Oh, okay, we're going to follow through with that," because you can't.
One of those orders, by the way, is you can no longer say China virus.
What?
That was an entire executive order.
Well, if I can't say China virus, then how would I be able to tell people?
Which I think is
China virus
unconstitutional.
from China.
I'm pretty sure that's unconstitutional because that violates First Amendment. Because
Can I just say one thing? What does the American Constitution mean to me anyway?
Apparently, it means nothing if you're Joe Biden.
It means nothing to me because I'm British. So
It means nothing to anybody anymore, I guess.
Anyway, let's try and finish off the next 5 minutes. I don't know what MatPat. He's looking at stretching mounds of fields. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Jake the Surgeon, thank you. Detroit needs the Hiroshima treatment. Oh my God.
Message coming in.
They can have that after I leave
Patch
the
it
state.
That's pretty scary. Detroit is pretty bad in certain spots for sure, but there's many reasons why before 2020. So lots of other laws and the industry they were in. It was the car industry and all the things that NAFTA brought and didn't bring. So stock and demand. There's all kinds of other factors with Detroit, though. So,
what is it? Whenever I think of Detroit, one of the scary movie films, I don't know whether it's number 4 or something, when they say, this is Detroit before the alien invasion, and there's gunshots, sirens and everything, and this is Detroit after the alien invasion, and the only difference is there's just one alien.
Sounds about
right. There's completely no difference.
Here's Jake the Surgeon.
That's my knowledge of Detroit.
On our wonderful topic change, Biden is starting up the Middle East's regularly scheduled drone striking.
Oh yeah, we're turning to wars and stuff like that. We're going back into
Wait.
Overseas conflicts and stuff.
Isn't that an Obama thing? Didn't he was he known as the drone commander in chief or something?
Yeah, we're pulling out of the Middle East, and then Biden just sent us right back in. It's like, okay, we're leaving.
No. When they say when America says like we're pulling out as the Middle East, what I mean is like there's no people there. The bombs are still going to be there, dropping on everyone else. Perfectly fine.
Is there a reason? Like I never heard that, so I didn't know why it's happening. But is there a reason why Biden is doing this?
Well, he's got to go follow tradition. He's got to start some new wars. I mean, he's got to get those ramped up. Tradition.
And also with him stopping a lot of the fracking and oil industry.
Oh yeah, he's stopping fracking too.
Yeah, America's not self-sufficient, so they have to start going back into the Middle East again.
And he's going into the Green New Deal, all this stuff like that. Or he's calling it something else.
Yeah.
It's still the Green New Deal.
Yeah. The Green New Deal, which stops everything in America happening so that they can fight wars in the Middle East for resources. Yay. Wonderful.
Thanks,
Everyone
Biden.
forgets about that. Like the Paris Accord, all the Paris Accord does is just give Western countries a free...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. George Kell says you can't do by executive order unless you are a dictator. Joe Biden says the guy who signed 40 executive orders in the first week of his office.
You know, I'd love to see Joe Biden get nominated for the Peace Prize, but I think Black Lives Matter already got it.
Black Lives Matter.
Oh yeah,
got
Black Lives
this thing in
Matter.
their hole, yeah, they got this thing down.
Yeah,
It's great.
I've never seen so much peaceful blood spilling in my life.
Violence of peace. That's what it is.
Yeah, violently peaceful.
Oh, I just got a wonderful response on Twitter from Curio. This is fantastic. Let me read this to you guys.
Oh no.
Yes, Smud, because queerness isn't a luxury or a choice, you fucking chud. I go over this at great length in my video.
He calls you a chud.
Queerness,
Whatever the hell he is.
Unironically calls you a chud.
queerness isn't a luxury, it's a necessity in a post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Apocalyptic world. Yeah, sure. Kia, why don't you just wander into the wilderness like you told other gay and trans people to do?
I'm gay.
That's not my words. That's their words. Ellie goes into the wilderness and doesn't have all these problems. Lev goes into the wilderness. It's like, are you trying to tell gay and trans people you got to wander into the wilderness to escape?
What was that? iDubbbz?
I love that video you guys did.
What was that?
I love that video.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to remember that iDubbbz TV "I'm gay" quote or the meme. I can't remember what it was about, but he just screams "I'm gay" and all these zombies just start eating him or something. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, I'm gay. You can't do this. I'm gay.
It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's like, really?
Necessity.
Gayness is a necessity?
Queerness is... No, it's not. It's not a... No. I'm sorry to say this. No. There's no... No. Just drawing a line under it. No.
I love these... I'm so happy these people are very expressive with their sexualities and their identities. And it's like...
Yeah.
Can you stop for 2 seconds and just listen to what you're saying?
Just stay out of video games. Just stay out of video games. How about that?
That's fine, but don't use stupid things like, to survive, you have to be spiritualized.
Spiritualism.
Spiritualism is so important in survival.
And by that I mean I don't mean like we shouldn't have like gay or transgender people in video games. No, that's fine. I'm just saying stop trying to look for meaning in video games. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I watched that whole thing, and well, obviously I watched the whole thing because I was in the stream. But I was like, this person is just stretching so much here.
I don't mind. Again, I don't mind people being proud of their whatever. It's just that can't be all you are beyond your reason. There's logic and reason, and then there's your identity, and you just can't smash your politics across all sectors of knowledge without rational thought. And you sit there and you're like, okay, this guy's a clown. This guy is a clown. There's nothing else I can say.
Yeah. What they're saying? Oh, the dead naming was
oh my god,
really hard to do. And we were like, you've just watched a bloke get his head caved in with a golf club. You were perfectly fine with that.
Dead naming is so violent.
Lev
it's horrific.
Caused you to have a panic attack. Yeah, I'm like, get your priorities right. You've murdered people. You've murdered... A pregnant woman gets killed, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Perfectly okay. Yeah, sticks and stones. But dead naming? No, we can't have that in our video games.
Anyway, let's try and focus on the video. I think we're gonna have a nice fun on Twitter in a few minutes. So, Alex Halo, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Biden waiting for his Nobel Peace Award for killing. Oh, well, that's the same thing that happened to Obama, right? So, yeah.
I think that's how you get it. There's like plenty of peace accords going on during the last 4 years. No peace prize. Plenty of nominations, no peace prize. But you start bombing things, that's how you get a peace prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, the Nobel Peace Prize was invented by a guy who invented dynamite.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if we're comparing here,
When you use dynamite,
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of peace afterwards. That's true. It's
Lot of
very
peace.
quiet.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one wants
a
to fight you after that.
Yes.
Your eardrums
piece
are
over there,
shattered.
piece over there, piece over there.
Yeah.
It's not peace as in PEAC. It's
Peace
it's
in every sense of the word. Yeah. Every word of peace.
Well,
surprise.
let's put it straight. There's no one left to argue
Message
whether you
coming
should
in.
have won it after you've used dynamite.
You're gonna argue, yeah. I don't think you should have done it. What'd you say? Like this piece of dynamite real quick. Okay, what'd you say?
Just hold this candle for a minute.
The third part was when they wanted to give
Last stick of dynamite. I respectfully disagree with your opinion.
Yeah.
when they wanted to give Greta Thunberg the Nobel Peace Prize for shouting on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like just for shouting, not for fixing anything, just for shouting.
I also love the fact. I will
And
say
by
one thing
that,
about Greta
by that
is,
standard, Devil, then Trump should have gotten one too.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I do love the fact that Greta's been forgotten once she became 18 and is legally classed as an adult. She's like being cast away.
Yeah,
That's
like
hilarious.
the moment Greta Thunberg became 18, they started building up a new person because she's too old now.
Yeah. 18's too old. We need a 15-year-old again.
I think we're straying into dangerous territory
Yes.
with those statements.
Yes, we are.
Wait, what? No.
We must stop now. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we still have 5 minutes. Let me go through the super chats, see how fast we can get through them, and get back on the video. Jake the Surgeon, thank you. I stayed with a friend in Detroit, and he gave me a gun and said, "Sleep with this under your pillow." That night, I woke up hearing a gunfight several blocks down. Wow, that's an exciting city, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I have never.
Yeah, and
Bad Boy's like, yeah, so it's it's America, guys.
I was like, yeah, I was involved in the gunfight. Come on, pussy, come outside.
no, that was last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what? Nothing.
It doesn't matter.
I just
Make a
find it
joke
funny
before you
that
carry
Toronto
on.
has more gun deaths than New York.
I know.
Okay. So something's happening to Toronto. I don't know what it is, but couldn't tell you what.
It's not like gunfight at the OK Corral. It's like gunfight at the back alley behind Burger King or something.
Yeah, well.
No, it's the back alley behind Golden Corral.
All right, Joe Crazy, thanks again. Unless being LGBT allows you to reproduce by budding, it's not a necessity. You know what? I don't know. I would have to talk to Curio to find out what the hell they're talking about, because I am clearly taking it the wrong. My mind is just not in his headspace. So I don't know where we're losing.
Yeah, it's because your mind's in a thing we call reality.
Well, again, I really need to. Maybe he's making this argument from emotion, where it's like I would rather die in a post-apocalyptic world than give up my gayness or whatever. It's like, okay, but that doesn't make it necessary. Like, you know,
Are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about, like, let's say.
Are you kidding, Smud? He'd be the first one to die in a zombie apocalypse.
I probably would agree with you.
They're not going to last long.
Let's say you're under tyranny, right? Like really William Wallace kind of level of freedom. Like you don't have enough freedom to live or live your life, whatever, right? So yes, there is a preference.
Sorry, Smud, you can't use William Wallace in this.
I can't. Why not?
Because he wasn't under. There's a lot of stuff about William Wallace. Anyway, but yeah, I understand.
I'm sorry, I have no idea then. What I'm trying to get at is, if you're under a certain level of tyranny, death is preferable to life. I understand that sentiment. Okay, you would have to be under such extreme pain and suffering that you couldn't call yourself male or female, or you didn't have the right resources to hire a doctor to give you whatever surgery to become another gender or sex.
Yeah.
For you to in the zombie apocalypse, for it to be a necessity. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So just the thought that there is someone out there in the zombie apocalypse that thinks I would rather die than not be transitioning to a male or female or whatever sounds even more ridiculous than what Curio is implying. So I want to know where I'm doing, what I'm thinking wrong here.
to be brutally honest, I don't think anybody who was born during because obviously it's 25 years after the apocalypse or something. Or it's quite some. It's 20 odd. It's quite some time. Anyway, I doubt they'd even know what trans is. To be brutally honest with you, it wouldn't even cross anyone's mind.
I still see it as an act. I honestly don't care. Maybe he's for these things. I honestly just see it as he's just another guy on YouTube trying to make us laugh. He does a decent job, and he puts makeup on and dresses like a girl, and that's it. That's all. Like that's all I see. So I don't really care about politics. I don't care about your guys. But to me, it's all a good joke. America and guns and Detroit. It's all fun. So
Brits and their empire and their slavery. Yeah,
it's all past things that I'm not affected by, so I don't see it as a serious topic of debate. And plus, I don't debate politics in the first place, so I don't care. Anyway, and we have another super chat about Curio. Okay, Jake. Curio is proof why fathers are important to a child's development. I think that's as far as we're going to talk about Curio for the rest of the stream. Okay, how's that? Oh boy,
that's the oof level has just gone to like 11.
Yeah, let's continue.
Anything you build on that land does. Paved a lot, that's now improved land. Built a building, you can depreciate that. And there's a really weird loophole that helps McDonald's here in a big way because rented land can be depreciated. And almost all of McDonald's land is rented. Only 7% of McDonald's...
Didn't he just say land can't be depreciated originally?
Yeah, but now it can be, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's how MatPat... Oh, I got it. Okay, thanks, MatPat. We understand now.
The typical YouTuber.
It's a joke. It's a joke video. He's having a joke.
It's
You're not meant to take any of it seriously.
He was just
all that accountancy stuff.
All that math is a joke, guys.
Yeah, it's all a joke. You shouldn't take that serious.
actually owned and operated directly by the company. The remaining 93% of locations are franchises. Thanks to all of those locations, in 2019, McDonald's reported $1.39 billion in total depreciation, which accounts for roughly $292 million in a single year of tax savings, which is a lot of money, but with annual revenue of 21...
Not when you make a $20 billion profit in 2019.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah. $1 million compared to $1 billion is nothing.
It's barely a rounding error. And that's why it's now time for us to talk about revenue versus earnings. Revenue is the total amount of money you pull in.
This is the accounting channel, guys. What is this?
Yeah, God.
I'm learning so much.
I know.
Popcorn, open up a beer real quick. I can't wait for numbers. Yeah.
I'm just like, if I was like, I'm really sorry, what I'm gonna have, what I'm gonna make today. Oh, MatPat's on a video on food. Oh, I'll have a check of that. 10 minutes in, I'm like, my pasta's burnt. So what do I do now?
Period. You don't subtract costs. You don't subtract. You just count up all the money that you collected in the year, and that is your revenue. Your earnings are different.
Matt.
That is what you actually made at the end of the year after you factor in all of your costs. When you look at McDonald's, their revenue and their earnings tell totally different stories. Remember how I said McDonald's only owns...
So does every goddamn...
Yeah, Matt, you said that literally like 10 seconds ago.
Every business, every household, everything, everyone does that. When you pay the tax man, you count out your liabilities and you count up your assets, and then you go, this is what I made this year. And then you calculate the tax percentage that whatever state you're in has for your state, and then you pay your tax man.
Here's what I made earlier.
This is
the money I made earlier.
Specific to a business. This is basically what you do. Everyone does this. You make $10 a week, you spend $5 on food, you invest $1 in the bank, and the $4 you have in your wallet or whatever.
Yeah, it's simple. It's so simple, but once I started my job when I was 19 and started saving up, you can save up quite quickly with stuff like that. But
operates 7 its locations, well, that 7% makes up a whopping
where's Britain?
47% of its.
He's just using the map. Don't worry.
No. He's got pretty much everything else. Where's Britain?
Why are you offended by this?
Where's even the blob?
Now you're offended.
No, where's the blob? No, I've just noticed. I'm like,
I think it's where the logo is. The McDonald's logo is. I think that's
no.
might be wrong.
That's not it. It should be above the 7 and 47% in revenue.
Oh yeah. Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, Spain, France. Yeah, it's somewhere.
You've got you've got pretty much the whole map, like at least squiggled out. You've got other islands on this fucking map. Wow.
Also, if you're going by this map, it looks like 7% of McDonald's that are owned by the company are specifically in Greenland.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, but
very top of Greenland.
Also, can I just say something? He's put Greenland in there, right? What? No one's in fucking Greenland. No one cares.
Not even the people that live there.
Yeah, but the UK's got quite a lot of the McDonald's. I'd assume that it'd be on a fucking map.
Anyway, Jake, I figured it out. Big Macs are really numbers. Okay.
Yes, there is a thing called one Big Mac.
What?
Don't tell Movie Bob because he'll get a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, don't worry. It's fine. Anyway.
Revenue. 7% of company-owned locations make almost the same amount of money as the 93% of franchises combined. But owning the locations comes with a lot of costs.
You've got
So when it comes to
Papua New Guinea as
earnings,
well on
the
that
script
fucking
actually
map.
gets flipped.
What the
The company-owned locations need to pay all their expenses, from equipment and staff to the land costs. That means that despite pulling in $9.42 billion from their company-owned locations in 2019, they only kept $1.5 billion of those earnings.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
no.
McDonald's barely has to do anything to keep its franchises running, since that's the franchisee's job. As a result, McDonald's gets to keep about 86% of the franchise revenue as earnings, meaning that of the $11.6 billion that they made in 2019, they got to keep over $10 billion of that. So what percent of all that is rent as opposed to money from, actually selling hamburgers? You remember from way back when you...
Okay, so this is not that big a deal because we talk about that $10 billion. Guess who gets that? That's the people who own stock in McDonald's, okay? If they didn't do that, McDonald's would not be as expensive as it is today as a stock. It wouldn't have $154 billion bucks. So this is a good thing. They get to keep the money, meaning the people who own the company get to keep the money. This is all good stuff. So whatever this, they keep all this money. It's like, yes, that's the business model. They're doing well.
Yeah.
Well, McDonald's could be any company, but they're smart because they own the real estate underneath the building. And they can sell when they want. They could be selling cars. I don't really care. That would be amazing. If they could own the real estate and make cars, they would be making crazy amounts of money.
Big Mac Mobile.
No, it would be nuts. So, they could have done all sorts of different things, but they went with the burgers because that was their original business, and then they got into real estate and combined the two.
To make land, I like that. Just do that.
Yeah, they could jump into any other business if they really wanted to, but why ruin a good thing? I don't know.
They could even start making edible food.
Well, I haven't tried the crazy vegetable burgers yet, or whatever they're called, the vegan hamburgers. But
don't try.
I don't know if they have those at McDonald's.
No?
I think they have them like at Burger King.
Really?
The Impossible Burger.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, maybe I'm getting my fast food knowledge. It's very limited, screwed up here. So, but this is.
I wouldn't.
This is all good logic. This is all good when you want to franchise out. It's smart to have enough money to invest in the real estate first, allow someone else to maintain it, buy a superintendent, get a architect, all that stuff, have them build the building, have them service the building, have someone else work the building, and you just collect the rent, the profits, et cetera, et cetera. This is a great idea. So, and this is not just McDonald's. Everyone, a lot of people, a lot of food chains, like not chains. What's the word? Food conglomerates. I know a few of them. I don't know if you guys watch Master Chef. but they own a few. It's not just one restaurant. It's like multiple restaurants across Ontario or North America or the States. So Jamie Oliver's the biggest one I can think of. He has
idiot.
Yeah, he's not. His restaurants aren't great, but they're better than McDonald's. Let me just tell you that. So.
Oh yeah, it's just like he's not very popular in the UK.
Really? That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, everyone once everyone hears Jamie Oliver, they go, "Oh, what a cunt!" And then that's literally it.
Yeah. His chain is, I think, Jamie Oliver's Italian. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Maybe he has other styles of restaurant, but that's the one we have close by. So, there's all kinds of styles of this. So it's not a big revelation that people own the land that they franchise on. Anyway.
Thought that was what the company did. Well, McDonald's doesn't break it down in their financial reports, but we can make use of the numbers we have available to make a reasonable guess. We know McDonald's is...
Why don't you just own one stock at McDonald's and they'll give you the yearly report that they're legally obligated to give to all shareholders? It would cost you, whatever the stock price is. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You could even go Sorry?
There you go, Hawk. There's a map of the UK with a his logo on it. There you go.
I'm happy now.
There we go.
I'm content.
Okay.
Hey, listen, we didn't enslave quarter of the world to be removed from a map.
Or $3.4 million each on average. If we assume that their company-owned locations make close to the same as franchised locations, it means each franchise would be paying 4% of that, or about $136,000 to McDonald's in franchise fees every year. For its 35,925 franchise locations, that's roughly $4.9 billion off of franchises for the food, for a total of $6.4 billion in food. McDonald's reported $13.15 billion in 2019 earnings, so the remaining $6.75 billion that's left is going to be new franchises, and finally, all that real estate. $6.4 billion in food versus $6.75 billion in all the rest.
Wow.
We give ourselves a close race, my friends, but we can say that McDonald's makes more in non-food earnings than direct food earnings. So there you have it, friends.
Okay, I mean, that's...
So when does the theory come in here? When does the theory come in here?
I think that was the theory. He just invented a bunch of potential numbers for sales versus real estate. It doesn't matter how McDonald's makes the money. It's coming from the franchisee owner. So they make their money by selling hamburgers and etc. and paying rent, and as well as whatever liberties they give to McDonald's for owning the franchise, whatever the contract they sign. It doesn't matter. We know it's real estate and they're renting it. That's it. Good for them.
Yeah. Can I just say 6.4 billion to 6.75 billion is so very close to each other in business terms. When you're earning that much, you might as well say 1 and 1 at this point. You can't call them a real estate thing with 0.35 billion more.
If the franchisee owner can't cover the float to spend McDonald's, they're going to get a new franchisee or they're going to sell. So whether that number is higher or lower makes very little difference. All that means is that whatever they take in is slightly higher than what the actual owner gets for profit from selling burgers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. Who am I to tell McDonald's on corporate how to make their money?
Can and can't do to make money.
They are number one in the world for franchise ownership or franchises. They have the largest market cap I've seen in the food services industry. What does it matter that this is their ratio? I don't get it.
What was true in Croc's day is still true today. McDonald's makes more money from real estate than they do from hamburgers. And what's more, McDonald's has been leaning even harder into real estate in recent years. From 2015 to 2019, McDonald's sold off over half of its company-owned locations, in many cases making a tidy profit off the land that they were invested in, and shifting more of their reliance away from running an actual restaurant and more towards being a real estate firm that happens to build.
Okay, you know what? This is getting silly because when you're talking about rent, like let's say I own an apartment building. I don't care how my tenants make their money. I just want the rent.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
McDonald's doesn't care how the tenants make their money. Hopefully it's by selling burgers, but it doesn't really matter to them. So
it's one of those things like you don't care how they make the money. You just don't want to go around with a baseball bat to force money out of them. That's what you care about.
Yeah, this is a very strange thing. So I don't. It's weird.
Also, can I just say something? So supposedly in 4 years they sold all those things, blah blah blah. Yet still, the real estate only just beat out the burgers by less than $1 billion.
Well, that's an interesting argument because you're talking about rents or sales of real estate itself. So I don't know what happened and how he's calculating these numbers, or whether those numbers are real or whether he just made them up. But if you're going to sell property, that's going to be a big lump sum in comparison to rentals per month.
Yeah.
So which one is it? What exactly are we comparing to? It's not apples and apples, that's for sure. So
if you sell something off, you've got no more money coming out of that place if you sell it all off.
Yeah, the number one. We said this before in the stream. If you want to get big money, if you want to be really rich, buy real estate. That's the number one answer to making money. So save up your money, 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it is. Buy a condo, buy whatever price you can afford. Do a fixer-upper. Make sure everything works, et cetera, get a good tenant, and wait the extra few years to get that money back, and just keep at it. That's the basic rule. So whether McDonald's they showed McDonald's wasn't the only one. Wendy's did this. Starbucks did this. So the model has been used many times. Yeah, it's nothing new.
All its building front. And who can argue with this approach, at least from a business standpoint? Their massive commercial real estate portfolio has allowed them to weather the 2020 insanity with relative ease. McDonald's corporation stock has fully recovered from COVID, and as of the making of this video is trading near an all-time high. It's a similar story with other major restaurant chains too, like Starbucks and Wendy's, who took a page from Sonneborn's book and have gotten into the real estate game themselves. In fact, the practice of collecting...
Okay, I don't know what he's rambling on about, but if you guys have been paying attention to the stock market in the past year, meaning 2020, the food and service industry got hit. The grocery store industry went hugely up. Costco, Metro, there's all sorts of other bigger ones out there. Sam's Club, they went skyrocketing prices. Their stock went up. So I'm not sure what he's looking at. When was this? This is in November? Let me just check that. Oh, God, he has so many. Oh, my God, this guy is a machine. He pumps these things out. Let me see. Food theory. Where are we?
They're very small effort videos, Smudge. You can easily pump them out.
Just trying to see which one. Okay, so 2 months ago. So that was November. Let me just pull up that wonderful little chart. Actually, let's go to finance. Let me do a quick little thing. MCD, all right, so let's go 5 months or 6 months. All right, so this is not really impressive. I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen. It's kind of small, but this was the bump in October I said before, and November is at 216. Let's say let's pick 218. All right. So I'm going to compare this to the March dip, right? If you guys know what happened in March 23rd, that's when the stock market, everything tanked because of COVID.
Yep.
Okay, so here we are. So here's March 23rd, or March 16th, my apologies. So March 23rd is here. So it's roughly even from February of that year, which doesn't really say much. And it's going to keep fluctuating. So yeah, no, this is nothing worth talking about. It was down in November 2019, below 200, and now it's above 200. It's like that's not indicative of any pattern I can pick out just by looking at that. So,
yay!
Has it recovered? Yeah, we have no idea. I'm sure it got hit. I'm sure the reason why the stock is up so much, and I haven't looked at their EPS for the past 3 months, and I don't know if anyone knows what EPS even is. It determines how much money they made, what they expected. it got hit. There's no question. People buy things like blue chip stocks, like McDonald's, like Coca-Cola, like Starbucks, like whatever, because they're safe. So they inflate the prices, and now we're gonna see this come crashing down in the next few months, unless people start opening up. So it really depends. I have no idea.
Rent franchises has pretty much become par for the course for major restaurant chains. Meanwhile, smaller restaurants who don't have the luxury of being their own landlords have been hit real hard this year. And I mean real hard. It's estimated that 85% of all independent restaurants in the United States could permanently close by the end of this year. So let me leave you with this thought, theorists, especially those here in the US where COVID is still surging and where many small businesses missed out on the limited number of Paycheck Protection Program or PPP loans that were made available to American companies. If you happen to be in a position where you're able to choose between local restaurants and national chains, consider ordering local, more now than ever before. Oh, and if you happen to be in a position to start a restaurant, consider becoming the landlord too. But hey, that's...
Are you crazy? That would be nuts. That would be, you'd have to take out a loan.
Man, too.
Was he just about to say that's just a theory?
Just the
Because
theory.
if he was, I would have punched him in the face.
Oh, you can punch him in the face. He's about to say it.
Food theory.
So, guys, if you want to start a restaurant, the return you're going to get is roughly, well, if you're lucky, 5 to 10% a month. That's after expenditures, like to turn profit, which is not very good. To buy the land is a whole other ball game, and then
You know what? Just buy the land first. Let's do that before you open a restaurant.
it's even more risky.
Yeah.
Like most people who are chefs, they just want to cook. They don't want to be a realtor.
Yeah.
Restaurants is a huge gamble. That's the favor is in the favor of the house. Well, by that I mean not you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. You
Yep.
It's
So
a huge
It
risk.
was risky to open a restaurant when times were good. If you wanted to open a restaurant now, like I hear stories of people opening up clothing stores and cake stores and stuff like that, but it's not a brick and mortar place. They live at their house, they bake their food there, and they ship them or have Uber Eats or whatever, pick it up. So that's the new business model for people who are doing what they can just to get by, and that's actual restaurants operating as grocery stores or takeout places. So for MatPat to say, and if you want to buy a restaurant or if you want to start a restaurant, like, no, we don't. No one is starting restaurants.
If you want to start a restaurant, don't. That's the best.
Yeah.
Watching
That's
these
the better
videos
option.
is starting a restaurant. No one who's watching this video is starting a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And everyone who's saying you want to open up a restaurant nowadays, you're crazy because there's no one buying. There's no one going out to go to a restaurant.
Yeah, but no one's allowed to go out. It's not. It's like, oh, no, we're getting no customers. Well, yeah, because there's no one allowed out of their houses.
So yeah, don't do that.
Well, actually, I heard they're opening up restaurants in my area like the beginning of like next week.
Really?
So that'll be interesting. Let's see how long that lasts.
I can see like food trucks. I've seen that downtown because there were people walking downtown Toronto and they had farmers markets because they can't stop them. They're allowed to associate. They just can't get very far until the lockdown came again. That was back in November. So that was happening. But yeah, it's just too expensive and it's too risky. It's ridiculously crazy to open up a restaurant anywhere. So I don't know. Interesting video there, Matt, but not sure what the accounting was all about.
No, the accounting bit was all wrong anyway. So
Anyway, I want to start up the new Smudge Shop. We're going to talk about stocks. So this was a food theory video for MatPat on
without food.
Yeah, 2.6 million views. Wow. So fun. Thanks, guys, for the recommendation. Let's try and space those MatPat videos out for next time. I don't want to do another one anytime soon.
Yeah,
they're going to become like Maggie May Fish videos.
Once a month, yeah.
Yeah, let's try and space it out like one a decade, something. That'll be fine.
I'm surprised he made so many YouTube channels and did the same shtick and just changed the topic to food.
Yeah.
every time he flashed that picture of himself from obviously like years ago where he's wearing that lanyard around his neck, I kept getting distracted by his Lego Man hair.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it to him for being incredibly popular. Bravo, MatPat. American Dream.
He came out a new one, by the way, a new video a couple hours ago about Captain Crunch.
Really? He just released one? Wow.
Yeah, just a few hours ago, I believe.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, is he saying Captain Crunch is a...
Crunch is an imposter. He's not really Captain.
Of course.
Captain Crunch is actually gets most of his money from real estate, not from...
The previous video was 6 days ago. I solved KFC's secret recipe. Okay. Sure you did.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Food theory, Cheetos are
Captain
cow
Crunch is not a
food.
captain. It's just like Captain Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beast Burger is not what you think. You are drinking...
Beast Burger is basically just like how do you open up so many restaurant chains? And basically he's using like these, I forget what he's called, but basically making deals with businesses like restaurants that have closed down that still have like supplies and everything, and using their kitchens and their staff to cook the burgers. So it's kind of like a virtual restaurant. They make the burgers on the menu of Beast Burger.
Okay.
But they don't actually own any of these restaurants.
So here's a channel, or sorry, a video that I'm a bit saddened by. Stop ordering your pizza like this. Okay, guys, you can make and order any pizza you darn well please, okay? No one should ever tell you what you can't put on your pizza, okay?
I believe that one's about how what restaurant gives you the most bang for your buck? Like which one gives you the most cheese and most toppings, everything when you buy them? And it turns out it's Little Caesar. Little Caesar gives you the best bang for your buck.
Yes, cheap.
I saw the video next to that one. Chocolate is a lie. Oh, better not let my wife see that one.
Are you kidding? Oh my God! I'm not going to.
That one's like
this is obnoxious.
Chocolate, and what is classified as chocolate as opposed to chocolate-like or chocolatey stuff like that.
Oh God. Oh
boy. There's a whole variety of variations of chocolate.
Oh yeah,
you're
there
allowed
is.
to call it chocolate. These certain levels
is
of
cake
stuff.
illegal? I look over. Is cake illegal?
I haven't seen that. I don't know what that one's about.
Oh no. Anyway, I want to get into stocks. We're going to be talking soon. Thank you guys for the recommendation. Please leave some more. I'll be updating the list tomorrow, so we'll get some new videos coming. And we go through another week of waiting for more content and seeing what comes, just to get rid of the old ones, just because they've been sitting around for long. But it's up to you guys to vote.
Yeah.
So also keep voting on the Discord. And thanks everyone for joining, even though it was kind of a weird
Message
video.
coming in.
But we got
Patching it through.
more important topics to talk about soon. So thank you, BB and LitDev and Hawk for joining me. And we'll talk to you guys.